Good. I believe we're good. And it's Thursday night, everybody, and it's time for Almost Human Live. I got Tony Dio here, and maybe the only one joining me this week. It is Wayne's birthday. So unfortunately he can't join us. He's home celebrating his 89th birthday. And
His
yeah,
89th birthday.
so
Yeah.
how you been, Tony?
Oh man, it's been a pretty decent week so far. S- Seems like time's flying, man. It's like almost April already, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, I was saying this the other day to a friend. It's like, obviously I'm much older and the road in front of me is much shorter than the road behind me. And then, recently a friend of mine died, and like a couple months ago another friend of mine died. It's like all these people are dying that are close friends of mine that are like at least 10, 15 years younger than me. you
Mhm.
know? And I'm like, God damn, I mean, I know I'm next. I mean, I'm not next, but I know I'm sooner than I would want to be. And then there's a part of my brain that's like, dude, why are you thinking of that? Just enjoy life. Fuck it. We
Yeah,
all
man.
die.
Exactly.
All die. But I can't help to get that thought in my head, like, oh man.
Yeah, man. I had a birthday Monday, so I was
Oh
57,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like
yeah. Happy birthday.
thinking, where did the last 7 years go? Because I just seems like I was just turning 50, you know? So it seems like time is flying. But yeah, man, you just got to make the best of it, you know. It's all you can do,
That's all I
you
can
know.
do. It's like, fuck, and I try, but then when somebody dies, it brings back those morbid feelings again. It's like, fuck, I'm gonna die. I don't know, sooner or later, but it's much sooner than later, that's for sure. But at the
You
same time,
know,
fuck it, man.
before we get into the thing here, we got to pay a little tribute to Phil Campbell, man, you know, because he passed what was it, Saturday. I got up Saturday morning and saw where Phil Campbell had passed. And yeah, did you ever hear what happened? I heard somebody had a liver transplant that didn't take.
Well, you see, I did a news report about it, and I read that, but I read that as and it wasn't like confirmed speculation.
Hmm.
So I don't like throwing in the news something that is not 100% confirmed. But yes, that's what I heard. He had a liver transplant and it didn't take. That's what I heard. And I eventually I guess we're all gonna find out.
Yeah.
They're gonna
You know,
release.
I've got a little Phil Campbell story. I think it was back in it was like 2002 or three. I can't remember exactly. Um, I got a pass hanging up over here. I don't know if it tells what the year it was. It says 2003. So it was 2003. And went to see Motorhead at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. And the night before, uh, a girlfriend of mine had called me we were going to get together and go to the show. And she said, "Hey, I just talked to Lemmy and Phil." She said they both called me. So I talked to Lemmy, and then she said, then Phil called me to see if I was coming to the show tomorrow night. You know, his mom died, and so he's having to fly home to England for the funeral, and they're bringing in a fill-in guitarist. And she's like, we're just talking. She's like, I'm gonna tell him to call you. And I'm like, no, don't tell him to call me. I mean, the guy just lost his mother. I mean, he doesn't need to call me, you know. But anyhow, we hang up. Sure enough, phone rings. It's Phil. So, gave him my condolences and all, and told him, man, I was looking forward to seeing you, but I'll see you next time. He goes, oh no, I'll be there tomorrow night. He goes, I'm not leaving till the day after. He goes, he said we're bringing in Todd Youth to fill in on guitar for like a week or so while he's gone. And so we go to the show the next night, and we go out and hang out with them and stuff. And but that was a cool show to see because Todd Youth did play that show with them, but so did Phil, and that was the first time that they played as a four-piece since Wurzel had passed.
Wow.
And so
That's
pretty
wow.
pretty cool show to see. But I met him several times through the years. He was always cool. Richard, I tried to get Richard to join us early. He's tied up with some stuff, but he was telling me you might have saw his Facebook post about when he was out on the Metal Masters tour, and he said that Phil put on a pink dress. He's got a picture of him with Phil wearing a pink dress, and he like walked out like down in the photo pit, and like stood right in front of Heaven and Hell as they're playing, and Ronnie Dio was trying to keep it together, and he was trying not to laugh. And said Geezer's just dying. He's hysterical, you know.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
I only met him once, and I met him on the 1916 tour. And if you remember, on the 1916 tour, he changed the name to Wizzo.
Wizzo, yep.
But then he went back to Phil Campbell. But I got this sign during the 1916 tour.
And he
Wizzo.
wrote Wiz.
And anyway,
Cool.
so we were hanging out, and this guy, some dude at the show goes, "Hey Phil, how's your brother Vivian?" And Phil looked at him like normal, and he goes, "Oh, he's doing great." Vivian Campbell. It's not it's not his brother, but Phil played along. How's your brother Phil? Oh, Vivian. Oh, Vivian's doing great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a drag. He's the longest lasting Motorhead member other than Lemmy. Um, he was awesome, man. I mean, uh, I got a news report. Well, I ain't gonna give it away. I got a news report of an album that he made that he was very proud of, and I have on vinyl. I should have pulled it out. It's called something Asylum. Phil Campbell and the Bastards. They
Bastard Sons.
Yeah, Bastards. So they released an album, something King of Asylum or something. I have it on vinyl. It's fucking awesome. It's awesome. And yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed he died, man. It's a
Yeah,
track.
young too, man. Yeah, he was only 64. I got doing the math, man. I was thinking, God, he was like in his like early 20s when he like joined Motorhead, you know?
Yeah,
Meaning that, he was probably in his late teens when he did Persian Risk, the band he was in beforehand, you know? But yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Rip Phil Campbell, long live Motorhead. The music lives on. Yep, yep.
and it was a
But
great night.
tonight,
Yeah, tonight we're talking about two anniversaries.
Destroyer will go with first. 50 years for Destroyer.
I got
And,
this one. I was listening to on the birthday. This is the
mm-hmm.
not the box set version, but like
The
the
deluxe. Yeah,
yeah, the deluxe with the
yeah, I got
yeah.
it here. The
I was
extra
looking.
track.
Let me tell you, I haven't heard Destroyer in well over 10 years because every time I put on Destroyer, I put on the resurrected version.
Hmm.
I never listen to the original version anymore. Even what I have in my iPod is the resurrection version, not the original. I haven't heard the original forever, and I've never heard this copy. I've never heard this copy of Destroyer because I only played the bonus disc. So I listened to it, and it's still great. Now it's like I was so used to this one, but now I'm so used to this one because the instruments are a little more up front, a little more 3D-ish. I still like Resurrected more, but you
I
can't
have I have
fault
this
me.
one that has the same artwork as Resurrected. But it's called the Destroyer alternate Destroyer. It's like demos and stuff on it. So it's just like a bootleg album.
Oh wow.
But but yeah, it was cool that they did the Ken Kelly painting with the way he had it envisioned originally with the live
Alive.
costumes.
Yeah.
But to me, still, the Destroyer costumes have always been my favorite Kiss costumes, and I think this is the most iconic of the Kiss album covers. because I mean they just look larger than life on that. I mean they are superheroes on that, you know. Such a cool cover. Um, Now
I
when it
love
comes
it.
to Destroyer, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I do love Destroyer. It's my second favorite though. Love Gun to me is my favorite, and I think
Favorite
it has
cover?
a lot. I think it has a lot to do with coming into Kiss at the time. That was the new record, and
Hmm.
just that imagery. But I think Destroyer is the second best. Same artist, huh?
Yeah, it's Ken Kelly. I mean, I came in on Rock and Roll Over. So I mean, I love that cover too. But to me, when I really started getting into Kiss, I would see this picture everywhere, whether it was on, I mean, it was on t-shirts and posters and all kinds of stuff. And just that the way they're standing, the pose and everything. It's always been very iconic to me. Um, Now that being said, I came in on Rock and Roll Over, and that was the first thing I had. And honestly, man, I drew a lot as a kid. When I would draw Kiss, their faces and heads looked like the Rock and Roll Over people. It would stick me in bodies, because I mean, I just thought, yeah, Gene's hair goes up like that. And then I saw this picture, and I'm like, yeah, his hair does go up like that. But as far as this album goes, I didn't get the studio version of Destroyer. I didn't even own it until I got the cassette here sometime in the early 80s. Um I have heard it. I mean, my friends had it and stuff, but I had a live 2 was the second thing I got after Rock and Roll Over. So I got used to hearing Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Shout It Out Loud. I got used to hearing those live versions. So when I did really get this album and get into it, the song sounded kind of lame and weak to me. And also by then, I mean, Creatures of the Night, that, and to me, I just always it's very overproduced. In other words, and I mean, I take it for what it is. I mean, it is. We've told the stories, we've heard the stories about a lot of their diehard fans at the time thought they had sold out because they lost that hard edge when the album came out. Bob Ezrin's sleek production on it.
And they did. They really did change their sound drastically. And it just goes to show, I always said it, Gene and Paul are Monday morning quarterbacks. The way they talk about the elder, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Beth, they'd be talking about Destroyer that way today.
You're
Be-
right. Yeah.
Because they panicked. Everybody was hating on it. They ran back in the studio to do a balls out hard rock album.
Hmm.
And then some DJ in Georgia flipped over the Detroit Rock City single and played Beth. And Beth blew up. And then they're like, oh yeah, now see, there was a time there before Beth blew up where Paul was actually angry at Bob Ezrin. Like he
Hmm.
was pissed off at at Bob. But then when it blew up, you know, and and um and thank God that happened because I don't think we would have had a Rock and Roll Over if Destroyer didn't initially flop. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, if
that's
it would
true.
have exploded, we would have had like a Destroyer Part Two. Let me put it this way: it would have been a Destroyer Part Two, and to me and you, it wouldn't be as good as Rock and Roll Over. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Eddie
Did
Kramer
you?
to me was the best Kiss producer.
Yeah, for sure. Did you read the book about Destroyer, that period?
Well,
It's a
I've read several books around that period. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Richard was telling me about one today. We were talking earlier and he was talking about it. Yeah. It's a lot of details and behind the scenes stuff that was going on, during that period. I know I had always heard the story about Detroit Rock City, the intro um with the news report of the guy getting killed in the car wreck or whatever. Paul Stanley had said that really happened, and it happened to a fan on the way to a Kiss concert. It was down south somewhere, and one time some people were saying it was Charlotte, North Carolina, where it happened. And Richard was saying the author of that book had done some really like some investigation looking for a news story to match that at that period and couldn't find anything on it. So he just thinks it's probably something Paul made up, you know.
Or maybe, because it's in different states. Maybe, this is
He was
pre-internet.
looking like all over and
Oh,
stuff, I
really?
guess. So yeah, he couldn't find anything on it. So I don't know.
Maybe
Who
maybe
knows?
it's true, or maybe it was a
I mean,
guy. Maybe it was a guy that Kiss was like satanic back then, so the guy was hiding it and not letting anybody know he liked Kiss, and he was driving to the Kiss concert. He got killed on the way there, and they're like, "Dude, that guy liked John Denver. What are you talking about? That ain't him. That's not the
well,
guy."
I don't think it had anything to do with him going to the Kiss show. It was just the fact that the incident happened. A guy was on the way to the concert, a concert or whatever,
I want to say a connection. This is like geeky talk now. Now we're gonna get very geeky talking. There's a difference between the masses and the hardcores. And there is definitely a connection with Sergeant Pepper from the Beatles and Destroyer when it comes to hardcores and the masses. The masses think Sergeant Pepper is the greatest Beatles album. A lot of people think it's the greatest album, period. Now, me being like a hardcore Beatle fan, no, man, it's probably my number six. I'd say the same thing, but I love Sergeant Pepper. I fucking love the album. Destroyer's the same way. Masses think it's the greatest thing, and it is their biggest seller, I believe. Studio album is the one that sold the most. Um, but my point is that most hardcores feel they like all the other 70s Kiss albums more than Destroyer, with the exception of Dynasty, I would think. But me, I like all the albums in the 70s, including Dynasty, more than Destroyer. But at the same time, Dynasty does not have Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, and God of Thunder. Those three songs are better than anything on Dynasty. But as a whole, I'm not a fan of Great Expectation. Honestly, I think Flaming Youth could have been a lot better without the circus noises. But I know I'm on the minority there because a lot of people love the circus noises. I think it starts great, bombastic. My uniform is leather, all that shit, rebellious, kick ass. But then it goes, it's like, what's going on here? Uh, I love Sweet Pain. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
hate for Sweet Pain. Sweet Pain's awesome. Uh, I
Yeah,
love
I like that one a lot, Sweet Pain.
I love Beth. I know that one's not popular, but I think the reason I love Beth is because of nostalgia. It takes me back to when I was a little kid because I didn't get into Kiss So I Want You, but I'm sure I heard Beth all over the radio, because it was a huge hit. I love
I
Shout
don't
Out.
recall ever hearing it. Like I said, I came into Kiss with Rock and Roll Over. I heard Hard Luck Woman on a KTL record, and that's the song that I gravitated to, and that's went to get that song. And when the guy showed me the album cover, I recognized that I'd seen it before at school, but I really wasn't familiar with Kiss. I did not see the Paul Lynn special when it aired,
Me neither.
so if I had saw that and I had in my first 8 track had been this Destroyer 8 track, maybe things would have been a little bit different. I would have came in, 6 months earlier to the Kiss Army, but yeah, I mean, I like the songs on here. It's just I never really revisit this one that much. And the most that I have listened to it in recent years was when I actually got that deluxe edition that you were just showing a while ago. I got that I think last year or whatever. But speaking of Beth, so last week we had Al Horta joining us, and he had that big Kiss light up logo, and he was talking about it's from that movie Spinning Gold, the movie about Casablanca. You know, so it's on Tubi. So I pulled it up and watched it the other night. Yeah, it is a 2 hour long movie, but it was interesting. It kept me interested. But yeah, God, they deviated from the truth quite a bit in there, didn't they? And the whole Beth thing, they were saying, and they were trying to say in the movie it was about Neil's wife Beth, And that's just a complete turn. Of course, they had Peter.
Uh-oh, you
Yeah,
froze. You froze for a second. You're back.
yeah. You froze a second ago for me too. Yeah. Yeah. He had Peter playing guitar and stuff. Singing Death. Yeah, that movie kind of,
I
it
saw, I
just kind.
saw it. I saw it in the theater. Was dozing off.
Yeah,
It just bored me. I left that theater going, "Fuck, that sucked." And theaters ain't cheap these days. And so yeah, and also I want to talk with Destroyer. Like you, I didn't hear Destroyer till much later, but it wasn't Alive 2 that I heard the Destroyer songs. It was Double Platinum.
double platinum. Yeah,
I own Double Platinum. Double Platinum also had Do You Love Me? It had a couple more songs, I think. And the first time I heard Hard Luck Woman was on the double platinum version. And to this day, I think the double platinum version is better. I like how the drums come in much later
yeah.
in Hard Luck
It's a
Woman.
different
I
mix.
love that shit.
I prefer the original, but it is cool. Yeah, it
I
is cool.
love it. I love it. I love it all. I love Do You Love Me? That's a song that, when I had double platinum at the time when I was a little kid, that was one of my favorites. I mean, since then, but back then I liked it more than Black Diamond. I don't now, but and I liked it more than Detroit Rock City and all that shit. To me, Detroit Rock City is the best song on the album. I know it's played out and this and that, but I think that's Paul at his peak, and Paul to me wrote the best Kiss songs in the '70s. But to me, that's the number one Kiss song he wrote. And a lot of people will say Love Gun or Mr. Speed or what have you. To me, it's freaking Detroit Rock City. But everybody's right. Everybody out there, if you think Mr. Speed's the best song he ever wrote, you're right. You know? That's something the world needs today, Tony. People to understand. People have different opinions.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
I'll agree with you on that. I think it probably is his greatest song. Yeah.
Paul says it's Love Gun. And I love Love Gun. I do love that song. I stole your love. Come on and love me. Black Diamond. My God, Paul. No, I'm sorry,
I
Gene.
Want You.
Gene and Ace wrote
Yeah.
some great songs. You have your Parasites and Watching You and stuff like that. It's awesome songs. But Paul, I think, was ahead of the game with Strutter and 100,000 Years. I
Yeah.
goof on Paul, but man, I got to give that guy credit when credit is due. That
Don't
guy,
forget,
don't
yeah.
forget what.
Don't forget some of his great 80s songs like Bang Bang You and Radar for Love.
They're
Which
they're
he did have some good ones in the 80s too. I mean, Tears Are
they're.
Falling and Heaven's on
Uh,
Fire, some good
no,
stuff.
I like Heaven on Fire. I hated Tears Are Falling. You know
I
what
love it.
song I fucking
Love,
love? Love
what's
is
that?
um Out of the Cold into the Fire.
Oh
I've
yeah, I've
had
had
I've
enough.
had enough. That may be my favorite after the Lick It Up stuff because to me, the best '80s song for Paul, we're getting into some geeky talk here. Believe it or not, my favorite '80s Paul song, and I just thought of this right now in my head, A Million to One.
I love it. Great song.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite Paul song. And believe me,
Yep.
you got Creatures of the Night. That's a badass song. You got many I love Keep Me Coming. That's another one I think is a deep track and just awesome. Exciter.
I love
Exciter.
Exciter. Yeah,
Exciter is
Exciter's
awesome for the Vinnie Vincent guitar solo. Fuck Rick
King of the
Derringer.
Mountain.
By the way, Rick Derringer didn't do the solo on Lick It Up. It's Vinnie Vincent. I'm saying that because I'm a Vinnie Vincent tard and I want to defend him. But King of the Mountain's a great song. I even like I'm Alive. I mean, there's some real cheeserific songs I like from Paul, like I'm Alive, and I mean, probably the cheesiest. I mean, not cheesier than Bang Bang You, My Way, and Let's Put the X in Sex. But to me, the ultimate, where it's right at the border, is I love All Night. I love that song, and it's cheesy as fuck. Somebody the other
I,
day left me a comment going,
I
dude,
like the video.
some guy said, you like All Night? Dude, that song sucks. And my answer to that is like, dude, I like some songs that suck. And so do you. We all like songs that suck. And All Night sucks, but I love it. I love that song, you
I
know?
used to did not I used to not like Who Wants to Be Lonely, and I didn't like Thrills in the Night, and I love both of them now.
Yeah,
They don't get
that,
skipped.
yeah, I'm not a fan of either. It's crazy. Ryan, right? The guitar player
Mhm,
for the band.
mhm.
His favorite, his favorite Kiss song is "Who Wants to Be Lonely," and I'm like,
That
I
solo, he's looking at it from the guitar player's
yeah,
perspective too, though. That solo is great.
yeah, I'll tell you, and I've said it. There is a part of "Who Wants to Be Lonely" that I love. Is that middle section where it goes dan 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 before it goes into the solo and the solo. That
Yeah,
part's great, but the rest of the thing is, I got a problem with woes. I don't like
there's a
woes.
lot of woes in there.
There's a lot of woes in that song. You know, it's like whoa, whoa, stop. So I'm not a fan of woes, and that gets a lot of people don't dig that because a lot of people love woes. So woe is you.
Woe is
But
me.
but yeah, most like if you go in the peanut gallery, if I'll ask the question now, is Destroyer your least favorite of the 70s, your favorite, or I mean, if or middle of the road. In other words, what albums from the 70s do you like more than Destroyer? I'd be
Yeah, I
curious.
was
I guarantee most of them will say no because I got the hardcores, man. I got the hardcores on my channel. Most of them will say rock and roll over, hotter than hell, dressed to kill. You know, uh, rock.
going through the peanut gallery here. To hello to Count Ralphus. He's watching us. He said he's added to the Phil Campbell thing. He said Todd Youth died at 47. The guy that I said that played
Oh
guitar with him
wow,
that night. I saw him. Yeah, I forgot he passed away earlier. He played
yeah,
in a lot of bands.
that's
He was in
that.
Danzig, Sam Hain, Murphy's Law, Agnostic Front, Cro-Mags, Warzone. That dude was in a man, filled in with different people. Um, but just kind of going through. Patrick Cole says Destroyer is a great album. I would easily pick it above Dynasty. Um, and he said it is overproduced. Um, he's like it insists upon itself. It never seems to live up to its hype, but I still love it. But I probably would have been pissed off if I was a fan back then, and a lot of people were.
Oh,
Yeah,
I totally get it. I totally
Stu
get
Petty
that.
said Stu Petty said it was his first on 8 track. He was 7, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I bet you.
Kiss Fid said if you play Sergeant Pepper and Destroyer backwards, the Wizard of Oz soundtrack plays. Yeah. And then Logan Collins says, I heard if you play Rocket Ride backwards, Rip and Destroy plays. Maybe. But let's see. Logan says the only skipper for him is Great Expectations. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
I've never liked that one. I just can't even force myself to like that one. The demo of that is even worse, where he names
that.
each band member.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Watch Pete playing his drums.
like I said, I don't even have the resurrected version uploaded on my iPod, so it's nowhere to be found. So the only way I can hear it is by listening. Like on the 50th anniversary, when was it? Monday, I think.
Hmm.
Whenever it was, I played it and I sat down and I listened to Great
Yeah.
Expectations, seeing if anything has changed because it's been decades. And oh my God, I think it may be worse than how I remembered it. It's fucking horrible. But there's people that like it. I've seen people say they love that song. But
Yeah.
I've said Kiss. in their discography, there's only like there's three songs I don't like in their whole 70s discography. And that's great. You think about it. All those records and only three songs I don't like. That to me is very, very impressive, you know.
Kevin Capel says, "Do you love me and King of the Nighttime World or the Dark Horse Killer tracks on Destroyer?" Yeah, I like both of those.
I love King of the Nighttime World. That song is so killer. So
And I
killer.
love it on live too, the way Detroit Rock City and goes right into King of the Nighttime World, just like on the studio record, you know.
Like I was saying earlier, I was used to the double platinum version. I never heard the Destroyer version, and then I heard Kiss Alive 2 version before Destroyer still, you know? And the way Destroyer starts, what's that guy doing? Fixing his car or doing his dishes?
Yeah.
I can't tell. Is he fixing his car or is he?
I always thought it was dishes. It's not like he's in the kitchen doing dishes or something and the radio's on.
It sounds like clattering dishes, but it also sounds like clattering tools. It could be
Could
tools.
be. But I always thought, what do you guys out there think it is? Kitchen or garage?
Nobody's right, by the way.
Yeah, nobody's right.
You know, those that think dishes, you may be wrong, and those that think it's fixing a car, you may be wrong. It's just a whole speculation thing. But I know if you play it at the same time as Wizard of Oz, it makes zero sense.
Kissfid says my first version of Double Platinum came with three albums, three records, and a bonus side 3-4. That's a collector's item, man. Hope you kept it.
What? What do you mean you got three albums?
The manufacturer probably accidentally stuffed two side 3 and 4s in by accident.
Oh, so you got the album twice.
He got one side 1 and 2 and two copies of 3 and 4. So he
Yeah,
got three LPs. Yeah, I'm sure it happened.
that's wild.
Ooh, Troy's asking me to cover Motorhead collection in the Metal Emporium. Maybe someday when I get time to get back on this thing again. Um, I don't have a whole lot of Motorhead. I've got just a few albums and all the CDs. Um,
I have all Motorheads, and I did a ranking on this channel. I rank every
I know I
single.
have pretty much all. I don't know if I bought the last one or two studio albums, but I pretty much got everything before that, either on CD or record. Um, but Uncanny Valley Video says Destroy was the first CD I bought as a kid back in 2000. He's a youngster. Yeah, well, that's killer. Still got a good start there. It's kind of Logan Collins said I guess he means one of Paul's best songs, Nowhere to Run.
I love that song.
I like that song.
That
I
song,
always thought that song sounds like it could have fit on the Elder.
yeah.
The way it starts with that opening part with the acoustic guitar.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's
But
you know, I'm not a fan of Killers, but I love that song.
the best song on there for sure.
That's the only
Yeah.
song I like out of those four.
Yeah. Let's see. I was gonna go down here and see what anybody answered the question here. Let's see. Someone says kitchen. Kevin says kitchen for sure. Yeah.
Kevin,
Yeah, he says kitchen for sure.
Kevin Warhap.
No, it's Kevin Campbell.
Okay,
Yeah. Um,
he says
Patrick says somebody working on their bike in the garage and with someone else washing dishes in the kitchen. Could be two people.
so. The
Yeah.
kitchen is in the garage.
I don't know, maybe so. Maybe it's
Well,
like the Fonz. Maybe it's like the Fonz. He brings the motorcycle in the
all right.
house and works on it, you know.
But you know what's funny? My mom's house, the garage has a sink where they actually do the dishes in the garage. They don't do it inside the house.
You
So
said Kevin who in Modern Day Warrior said Kevin's on fire.
Modern Day
Good
Warrior,
one, Modern
Al
Day
Horton.
Warrior.
That's Al Horton.
Yeah, Al.
I was on Al's show yesterday.
Al, I'm still seeing that Kiss logo. I'm still got it's still
Yeah,
burned into my
yeah,
eye. It's
yeah.
burned into my retinas from last week. But thanks for telling me about that, about the movie being out and being on Tubi because I got to watch it.
What movie's that?
Um, that Spinning Gold,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because yeah, did want to see
Yeah,
it.
I
So
ain't watching that again.
Paul Hayes said Rock and Roll Over and Dressed to Kill are his favorites. But yeah, Destroyer. So should we move on to Accept?
Sure. I had Udo sign mine. Uh,
So you have the US version there, I see. That's the US version on Passport Records.
Passport Records. Yeah.
Love the guitars. I was reading something the other day about those guitars that said that photographer did the photo shoot. He really did bound them together with barbed wire and scarred them all up really bad.
Oh shit.
So this version is on that I have here is on Brain. This is the original German pressing. It's got the original logo up here and Breaker
Oh
written over
wow.
here.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
the reason I had to get two versions of this is because I actually had the Brain version on CD. And the first version that I ever had, I want to say it was a two CD version. I think CMC put out that had it had Breaker and it had I'm a Rebel, and it was a two CD set. But so this version is censored. The US version, Son of a Bitch, is censored on it. They changed the lyrics to Born to Be Whipped, Kiss My Arm, instead of Son of a Bitch, Kiss My Ass.
Wait, no. This version? My
Yet
version?
the passport version.
I
Now,
could
all of them might not be like that, but this version that I
no,
have here on Passport Records is
I'm
is
almost positive this version isn't censored, but I'll listen again. Actually, I was playing this now. See, I don't know how I'm in
mhm.
it. I was playing it, but I didn't go on side two yet. But I could
It's
swear.
almost if you were like in another room or something, you might not even notice it. But it was just someone told me one day, so I went back and said, "What?" Just like you, I went back and said, "No," and I went back and I listened to it, and I was like, "Man, it is." And then I found out that that the German version has the uncensored version, the regular version, but there's other versions of this out as well with the different logos. I've seen it where the girl's dress is blue or green. It's just it depends on what country you get it from or whatever. There's some different pressings, but but yeah, man, such a great record. I mean, this is when Accept came into being the Accept that we know. Because if you listen to the self-titled first album and I'm a Rebel, they're still trying to find themselves. I mean, it's kind of glammy 70s style glam meets like a little AC/DC and Rose Tattoo and stuff like that. I mean, supposedly AC/DC was supposed to record I'm a Rebel, at one
Well,
point.
yeah,
Or
that's a big myth. Like I know Bon Scott wrote it, but the myth is there is a recording of it, but nobody's ever heard it.
um, but hey, I love the cover, the way they got the barbed wire going like through her head, like
Yeah.
goes in her ears. Pretty crazy. But yeah, so many good songs on this. I mean, this song Breaker, I mean, you got the double bass drumming in it, I mean, that's the route that they took from then on. They sounded like that until Eat the Heat came out. So
Yeah, then it went bad. But I always thought Midnight Highway kind of was a bleed over from the first two albums. I think
well,
Midnight.
Midnight Highway is stuff from the first. It's a compilation from the first couple of records.
Okay,
That's
because
what it is.
that
Yeah,
one totally sounds like it could have been on the first two albums. And yeah,
yeah,
Breaker's awesome. I love Starlight. Um,
yeah.
Burn If,
Starlight's
Run If,
good.
Run If You Can's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling
Yeah,
Dreaming. No,
Burning. Love Burning.
oh
Burning's a
yeah,
great
Burn,
one,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
Burn Up
Um.
Again. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Midnight Highway was kind of a best of the first two or three records. They just kind of did. I guess the label just wanted to put something out.
So there's
Um,
anything else on this album was from the first two, like you said?
no,
Like,
no. I'm just saying Midnight Highway. There's an album called. Oh, are you talking about the album called Midnight Highway?
no,
There's an album.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about the
there's an
song.
album called Midnight Highway. It's like a compilation record. That's what I was getting at. Yeah. You're talking about
Oh,
the song Midnight Highway.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking about the song also. It reminds me of the Bleed Over from the first two albums.
Yeah, yeah, I can see what you're saying there now. I got you. But yeah, man, just so many cool songs on this. I have a bootleg video from the when they got back together. I guess it was they got back together, what was it, like 93 or something, and they did that
Blaze the
Ejection
Metal.
Overruled.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have a like a bootleg video from that tour, and they opened with Starlight. That's what they played first. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Um, yeah, man, man, they were such a good band. I got friends that went to Hell's Heroes in Houston this weekend, and they're seeing Dirk Snyder perform. They're doing the whole Balls to the Walls album, and they're gonna do another like extend the set and do more Accept songs. Peter Baltes is in that band as well. Yeah, they got to extend their set as the headliner because the headliner, Loudness, believe it or not, couldn't get in the country again. So Loudness.
I booked a trip to some festival where they, for Loudness, me and Ruben were gonna go because Solstice was playing. Alex was in our band, and what do you call? Yeah, they couldn't get in the country. We canceled the trip. I wanted to go see Loudness.
Yeah, man, they've had major visa issues constantly since like like something like since like 2014 or something. I think it is. They've had visa issues. Um,
I
don't
saw
know.
him in the '80s once, and let me think. Oh yeah, and I saw him with Mike Visera in a club.
Oh,
Uh,
wow, cool. I didn't see them until 2006 when they first got back together with the original four. They did a
yeah,
US tour, and I saw them then, and then I saw them twice on the M3 Fest. But
I'm a huge fan of Loudness.
oh yeah, great band.
I
But
have friends.
yeah, they couldn't get in, so over at Hell's Heroes, they're gonna get a extended set from the Udo Dirk Schneider band, which I'm sure everybody there will be digging that, man, because Accept's got so many great songs, man. You know. But yeah. That we're talking about the guitars on the back, man. Man, on the next record on
Balls to the
the
wall.
no the Restless and
Oh, Restless
Wild,
and Wild, yeah.
the UK cover that shows the two guitars burning on the cover, you know. And I often
That,
wondered, did they use real guitars? And somebody said, yeah, they had just some cheap knockoff V's that they used to, because I mean they didn't have the Photoshop back then like they do now. You
yeah,
know, it's high Photoshop.
I have the crappy cover, the live shot.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the one
or
I got. That's the one I got. When I saw them when they opened for Ozzy, and I went the next day to the record store to try to get Balls to the Walls, and they didn't have it, and I ended up getting Restless and Wild, because that was the one they had in stock. And
I believe I have the original cover on compact disc though. Let me see. Yeah, I won't be able to find it now, but I know I have Restless and Wild, the original cover on compact disc, but I don't see it. But and that is my favorite Accept album is Restless and Wild. I mean, that one is just full blown Accept. That's when it became Accept 24/7. And I
for
love
sure,
I loved Metal Heart. Metal Heart got some shit back then. And Russian Roulette, which I feel is an amazing album.
got
No,
some good stuff on it.
nobody cared. Man, Aiming High is
Oh yeah, man,
one of my
love
favorite
that.
Accept songs. That album's amazing.
Yep.
And I loved it, but nobody cared. I don't believe there was even a video for it. It was
Mm-mm.
fucking not
I don't
promoted.
know what went wrong with that record for them, man, because I mean, I know thrash and stuff was kind of getting popular and stuff, but I mean, other bands of their The other bands of their peers or whatever seemed like they were still doing pretty well. Troy 78 asked for us Udo, Mark Tornello, or David Reese for accept lead singers. And of
Udo.
course, everybody's singing it. I got Udo. Udo is the only singer for accept. I mean, Mark Tornello does a great job of what he's doing. And what's weird about Mark Tornello is I had the TT Quick record, years ago, and Medal of Honor, and that song when they're Child of Sin, when he comes in with that opening line of neon lights burning bright in the night. I was like, God, he sounds just like Udo on there. So yeah, that was cool that he ended up getting a gig. Um, it's there's a lot of drama in that camp, why they all can't get along and can't, do stuff, and had a lot to do with their former manager, which was Wolf's ex-wife, or it was his former wife, or is his ex-wife now. But man, the other week, I had a flash drive. It's got a bunch of albums on it that I had just got from somebody, and just some stuff that some of it I had in my collection. A lot of 80s, a lot of hair metal. But Eat the Heat is on there. And I never really listened to Eat. I mean, when it first came out, I didn't care for it. I didn't buy it. I bought it on CD just for the collection. I think I found it for a couple bucks. But when you really listen to that album, it is the most accept record there is. I mean, even that patented guitar tone is not there. It's just totally Americanized sounding. The drums sound like a drum machine. It does not sound like Accept at all. It's crazy they went back and re-recorded Generation Clash, with Udo singing it and kind of heavied up the guitars and kind of made it a good song. And that's nothing against David Reese. He's a good singer. Um, Someone in the chat here was saying that they had just got a CD recently that they picked up that had David Reese on vocals. He's in like several bands. I mean, he was in that Bangalore Choir, that record was pretty decent. But yeah, Logan Collins says there was an underground band called Baby Tucko. Their lead singer was in talks to replace Udo before David did. I've heard of that Baby Tucko. I never listened to him. I thought it was a silly name, but I've seen that record before. Yeah. But yeah, the Accept, that whole thing is it's kind of crazy that it's split into two camps, and you got more members playing with Udo than you do in Accept as far as original members go.
Yeah, ain't
But
that crazy?
yeah.
Ain't that nuts?
But
Um,
man, yeah, I that band Wolf's Guide is so good though, man. They're tight band. I saw them the last time I saw them, they played M3, which is predominantly a hair band festival, and they had Accept. And man, when they went on, it's like they were the heaviest band all weekend. And when they played Balls Through the Walls, I just looked around and everybody was headbanging, because I don't care what you liked, everybody knew that song from Headbangers Ball. You know, everybody was jamming. It's just like a metal anthem worldwide.
you know what's wild? It still boggles my mind today. The video for Balls to the Wall, the scene where all the headbangers are headbanging against the wall, and you see the wall come crumbling down on them. Dude, that looks real as fuck. And that was pre-CGI. That
I
looks
always
real.
thought I thought it was like a video of it, maybe that's what they used. But yeah, I see your point. I
It looks
don't know,
real.
maybe they died. Maybe all those people died
Yeah,
for the
maybe
video.
maybe they
Maybe
were
it's
like, hey man, we love Accept and we want to die in your balls to the wall video. But yeah, it's
Troy
great.
Troy asked some crazy stuff. He said, Tony Dio and the Humanoids, Accept versus Scorpions versus Eloy versus Sodom. That's like Accept and Scorpions are like, the same style, but Eloy is like a complete like prog rock band, and Sodom's like, a thrash band. I like Accept over all of it.
I like Uli, Scorps, then Accept. I love Sodom's my favorite of the German thrash bands. I love that early Sodom stuff.
It's a band I've yet to catch, one of the few bands I've yet to catch
Yep,
live.
I've never seen them live, though I met Angel Ripper because I went and hung out at the docks for 70 tons of metal the first year that I didn't go on it. And I just went to hang out to meet Rockstar, and I met Angel Ripper, I met Uli, I met Biff Byford. I met a few people. It was cool.
Always cool. Yep. Ace says he thought Ace 96 times 10 says I thought Balls to the Wall vid was a comedy skit when he first saw it in 85.
That video, I didn't laugh. I had banged.
Well,
I just
so I mean, when I saw him with Ozzy, that's the first time I ever saw him. I didn't know really anything about him. I'd seen the name in magazines and stuff, and they blew my mind, man. They were great. I mean,
yeah, I saw them.
Udo comes walking out. I'm like, who's this little GI Joe looking dude?
Yeah, with the camouflage.
And he just like, I mean, they blew Ozzy off the stage that night, man.
I saw Accept twice in the 80s. I saw him up for Dio on the Sacred Heart tour, and then I saw him headline on the Metal Heart tour with Helix and Keel.
Yeah,
And
that tour came through here. I wish I'd gone to that. I didn't know anything about it at the
I
time.
I, I never heard a guitar tone better than I did that night. Wolf's guitar tone, I never heard a guitar tone like that live. Ever. It was the greatest guitar tone I ever heard at a live concert. It was unbelievable. And they were unbelievable. The thing is that it's the 80s, man. I mean, they're not pretty. If they were pretty, can you imagine if Udo looked like John Bon Jovi? How big would You Give Love a Bad Name be? If it was Udo in the band Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
talking
you
about
remember
the
you look at those early pictures of Accept when they first came out and they were trying to fit in, and they were kind of like they looked like 70s glam band, the way they were wearing the makeup and the shiny clothes and stuff,
I love
especially like
where I think it's right here. Is that it
I think
right there?
it's
I
the
love
back cover of I'm a Rebel.
I love this cover.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome. I don't know why it's so German, right? It's such a European looking album. Some chick with a chainsaw. I mean, and yeah, they look very like glammy.
hmm You look on the back of I'm a Rebel. Yeah, it's definitely.
But I love this album though. It's very different. But Sea Winds, Glad to Be Alone, Street Fighter's awesome. Lady Lou. It's different, but I love it. I do love it. It's an awesome album
Yeah.
cover. So what's the Peanut Gallery? Anybody say which one is Destroyer their favorite album?
Several people said it was their favorite, but nobody's really said, you know, a couple people said what their favorite albums were, but I think I went through all that. But all right, people, what's your favorite Kiss album? Just tell us now. From the
Yeah,
70s. Yeah. What's
mine
your
would be
favorite Kiss?
mine used to be Rock and Roll Over. It's the first album now.
Mine will always be Rock and Roll Over, for sure. Yep.
Yeah, that album is fucking awesome. They need to release a box set of that one.
Yeah, I was telling somebody that the other night we were talking about the demos, the Eddie Kramer produced demos and all that. All that should be in there. The Wicked Lester stuff should be in there. The Daisy, the live at the Daisy, stuff like that, you know. Okay, they're coming in here with Ace 96 is Alive. One is his favorite. Stu Petty says Destroyer. Um, Troy 78 says Alive 2. Bob R4B6V says Destroyer is awesome despite great expectations. Al Horter says his was Destroyer would be his least favorite out of the original six. His favorite is Hotter Than Hell. Ace 96 says he likes Hotter Than Hell too. Mitch Wooten, Tony, if you and Ralph had to rank your favorite of the three except singers, who would you choose? Yeah, we just said that a while ago, Mitch. I think everybody would go with Udo, you know. Both Ralph and I'm sure. Um, Jonesy, Joan E. Jones says rock and roll over. Um, Al Horter says he never liked the song Great Constipation. Yeah. Lowrider says Lowrider 9249 says Love Gun. Stu Petty says Udo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Udo is accept, man. Come on.
You listen to that first Udo solo record, the first UDO
Well,
record,
that
Animal
was
House,
that was
written
the
by
most
Accept.
that
Yeah.
that was part of the deal. Like, hey, look, we're gonna get another singer, but you can take our new album.
Hmm.
And goddamn, do I love Animal House?
Yes, I do too, man.
Fucking awesome album, amazing
Yeah.
album. That didn't do shit.
Logan John says Love Gun. And let's see. Bob Bob says thoughts on Udo's solo albums. Yeah, compared to Accept. Yeah, that's what we are just saying. Yeah. Animal House is way up here. Great record. The next one couple for me on that, I would say, Bob, the next few were, oh, I have them. They're okay. There's a few good songs on them. It wasn't until like God, sometime in the 90s, man, when he came out with like Holy and some of those other ones on Nuclear Blast, one thing with Machine Man or something. I think,
Yeah,
God, some of that stuff was really good, really heavy. But I've got different ones sporadically. I haven't bought all of them, you know. Um, I did like the covers album that he did. I thought that was pretty cool, just for what it was. That will We Will Rock You video is just great.
is that the
He's
one
playing.
where
He
Udo?
plays all the characters. He's the janitor, but he
Yeah,
plays
yeah, a
all the
mom.
characters.
Yeah, yeah, the
That
mom.
is, yeah, man, that is a brilliant video. I love it.
To me, Udo's a god. To me, he's up there with Lemmy. He really is. He's a
You know, the first time I met him, he was actually on the tour for the album Holy, and he did a tour with Raven, and they played up at Jack's, and it was Udo, Raven, and King Fowley's band October 31 opened the show that night, and great show. Udo sat at the merch table and sold his merch.
wow.
What better way to move merch? He just sat there. You go up, talk to him. You didn't have to buy anything, but just about everybody was. And he had all his CDs. Buy a CD, get it signed, whatever. I got some posters signed and stuff. Super nice guy, man. Just very, very, and that was cool, man. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
When I have a funny Udo story. I paid for a meet and greet, which is only $30, which is damn
yeah,
good.
was that
I
one with Dirk Snyder?
Yeah, it's when he only played accept songs, and they were on
Yeah,
tour. I
Dirk Snyder. Yeah, Richard went to that one too. Yep.
believe it was Hammerfall played that show. It was
It was
Hammerfall.
when I
No,
saw him, it was a band called
Elm
Elm
Street.
Street.
Elm
Yeah,
Street. That's what
Australian thrash.
they're
Yeah,
great. Young
yeah,
kid. I bought their CD. I took a picture with
me
them.
too.
But
Yeah,
Udo, I paid for a meet and greet, and I got there too late. And I was like, oh, fuck, I ain't going to meet Udo. Right next to the venue, there's a restaurant, and there's outside tables. There's Udo eating outside. So I brought all my records to get signed. So I went, I sat there, I didn't bother the man, with my friends. We're talking, we're waiting for him to finish eating. That when he finally finished eating, I hit him up. I took a picture, and he was as nice as could be. Super nice guy. I think he appreciated us not going up to him while he was eating. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, super nice. So
He
yeah,
was um he was selling like everything on that tour because I got the live album and it was already autographed by everybody. They were selling it at merch table. But he was selling like the jumpsuit that he wears on stage. You could buy that, and it was great. All kinds of like camouflage bandanas and stuff that said Dirk Snyder printed on them. Yeah. But
the freaking legend, man.
Al Horter says, seen Dirk Snyder like 10 years ago do the Accept set. It was incredible because I never got to see Accept, but I guess that's the same tour we saw because that was about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Troy
remember.
says Udo's album Rev Raptor was really awesome. Yeah, he's got a lot of them, man. He's put a ton of stuff out over the years. He stays busy. And man, he's even busier now. He's got Dirk Snyder. He's got UDO. Got Udo and the Old Gang. Have you checked that out?
I don't know that.
So that's a new thing he's got. I think they've done a couple of albums. It's called Udo and the Old Gang, and it's him, Peter Baltes, Stephen Kaufman, who was the drummer, is playing lead guitar, and the
Wow.
other guitar player is I can't think of the dude's name, but he was in Warlock and Sinner, and they got a girl, and they got a girl singer too. So she sings some of the songs, and Udo sings some of the songs. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
He stays busy. Oh, and his son is playing drums. Um, um, Udo's son is playing drums. Yeah,
Very
it's pretty cool.
well.
Yeah.
I love Udo. I love him, and I'm gonna listen to now to the Breaker side too.
You're
And
gonna see if it says kiss my arm. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I
You
could
gotta do it.
swear it's like kiss my ass. I could swear, but uh,
Yeah. You might have one that says it, but supposedly all those versions that are on Passport Records are censored. Mitch Wooten said, I remember seeing Accept open for Ozzy during his Bark of the Moon tour in Jackson, Mississippi. Still have my tickets to. Yeah, that's the same tour I saw, Mitch, and there was only a few shows. There was only a handful of shows with Accept supposedly because
yeah,
We thought Motley Crue was going to open,
I
and
saw that. I saw him with Motley Crue.
yeah. Um, does Udo still hit the high notes? Bob asked. He could do some screeching stuff, man. But he does well for his age for what he does. I think. Um, yeah. But yeah, man. So that's two classic albums we talked about tonight, man. Um,
All right.
I'm working on getting Anthony from Nuclear Assault to join us sometime soon. Uh, so hopefully that'll
That,
happen
that
here.
one, that one may be recorded though,
Yeah,
because
we'll probably have to do it during the day
yeah, I don't think
because for
Almost Human Live is not on his schedule.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think he can do it at night, but it's gonna be cool, man, to hear
yeah,
and get some good stories out of him, man. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So maybe
I'm very curious what he thinks of Out of Order album. Ooh, I
or
actually
something wicked. He's not on something wicked
no, he
either.
didn't play on that one. That's the guy from
Mm.
TT Quick on that one.
Yeah, that's right. You got
That's not really a bad album.
no, it's not. I liked it. I like that record. It's got yeah, David DePetro from TT Quick is the lead guitarist, and the bass player on there because Danny had left, and the bass player is Scott Mekas, he was in TT Quick, and he was also in that band Prophet that was on Megaforce. It's kind of like two glam guys joined a thrash band in a way.
I
But
have a
yeah,
Prophet vinyl that I've never listened to. And when I do my track by tracks, I pick out a random vinyl. I picked out a Prophet and I was like, dude, I've never even heard this. And I still haven't listened to it. I should listen to it.
it's not bad. It's just melodic hard rock. It was very melodic rock for a Megaforce record, I think. But it's probably the closest thing else on Megaforce like that would probably be Second Sighting from Ace
Oh,
Frehley or
boy,
King's X.
that ruined his career right there. That album.
Mm, you're
Then,
not
then, he,
lying,
re-
man.
then he released the awesome Trouble Walking. Nobody cared. See, if Trouble Walking would have followed Frehley's Comet, his career would have been a whole different
I
story.
agree. Big time. Yep.
Whole different story. But
Wow.
anyway, hey, there you go, man. It was a cool episode. I was talking about these two albums. I want to wish Wayne a happy birthday and also wish Count Ralphus the best. Let's send positive vibes to Count Ralphus.
Yeah. Good. Hopefully he'll be with us here in a week or so. And
Yeah,
ma-
if not, he will eventually be with us. Just
that's right.
keep him in your thoughts.
Yep. He's
So
watching us tonight.
yeah, he's
Yep.
watching now. So
I was telling Ralph here before we started. I said we should have, if Wayne should have joined us tonight, we could have had a Wayne noon roast.
yeah, but we'll do that after we're done. We'll crank on.
We should. Should wait till like 3 in the morning and
Yeah,
crank
that's
call.
way. Yeah, it's like it's not your
You got his
birthday.
phone number? I don't have his phone number.
I do actually. I do.
Oh, we should crank call.
I'm gonna call him at 3 in the morning. And say it's no longer your birthday, prick.
Oh man. He said
Anyway,
like he
yeah,
and I were talking yesterday. He said we need to start a GoFundMe for you to buy the Vinnie Vincent record so you can review it.
people love to argue online. I did a story on the Vinnie Vincent thing, and there were two different people left comment going, if he sells it for 2 million, he gives the person the rights to the album, therefore they can sell. I was like, you think that guy's going to sell $2 million worth of Vinnie Vincent's last album? Give me a fucking break.
No, it's no way to recoup that at all. So it's
You
just
you're lucky if you sell 1,000. You're lucky if you sell 1,000. And you can hear it on YouTube. It's already out. It's been out for 30 something years. I mean, it's been well acknowledged. He hasn't done anything new. He's a wag job. Whatever. But hey, you know what? I hope somebody buys it. No, I don't give a fuck. Let Vinny be a multimillionaire. Don't bother me none. I don't wish nothing bad on Vinnie Vincent because after all, he's not Sammy Hagar Belcher. So Tony, thanks again, buddy, for
yeah,
joining me.
man.
We'll be back
Thanks for
next.
having me. Been fun.
Yep.
Guys, have a good weekend. We'll see you soon.
Smack 'em a gob.